Ioka versus Nietes, and good fight. Good fight, and Ioka got his revenge. I was able to, and what a shame that no American broadcaster picked this fight up. You got four division champions here. Two guys who are some of the best fighters of our generation, lower weight class fighters, and no American broadcaster picked this fight up. It's a shame. And I had to search through links on Twitter. The links that I was getting were lagging. Finally, somebody sent me a link to a YouTube channel who was showing this fight live. And I caught that. I caught it from the 7th round on. And then after the fight, I went back and watched the first 6 rounds, pieced them together, scored the fight, had a 9-3 for Ioka. Good performance by Ioka. And much like I thought in the prediction preview video, is this simply came down to, I feel, who was the fresher fighter and closer to their prime at this point, because these two guys are made for each other. If they fight 10 times, it would be 10 decisions. And the first fight could have went either way. You could argue Ioka is still undefeated. Nietes, just think about how special he is and how undervalued he is as a fighter. Hasn't lost a fight in 18 years. Since 2004. And as I always say on this channel, lower weight classes are not built, they're not made for aging fighters. They're not made for 40, 41-year-old fighters. So for Donnie Nietes to go 12 rounds with Ioka, who is the number 2 guy in the toughest division in boxing, and he's close to his prime, 33 years old, for him to pull that off is a good feat. Even in a loss, this guy has nothing to hang his head about. He lost the fight. Ioka did a better job of dictating the pace, stalking, putting combination punches together. You saw Nietes that the age was showing here, in that he couldn't put the combination punches together that Ioka was. With Nietes, it was throwing the jab. He did a good job of throwing the jab to the body. He did a good job of countering, but his counters were one-shot counters instead of following up the counter with combination punching. So Ioka was strictly winning on activity alone, but then he was putting together better combination punches, a good variation of skills with the jab, mixing things up. He was countering himself and just dictating the pace of the fight, dictating how the fight was going to be fought tonight or this morning here in America. And good performance by Ioka, and this is the Ioka that we've come to know and love. It's a guy who could be, possibly should be on pound-for-pound list, although the pound-for-pound list is packed right now. And I still think, I'm high on Bam Rodriguez. I still think he's the cream of the crop in the division right now. You still got future Hall of Famers like Chocolatito, Gallo Estrada. So this is a jam-packed division. Joshua Franco as well, another young fighter, brother of Bam Rodriguez. Jam-packed division. So it's tough to rank these guys, right? Because it's tough for them to separate themselves from each other since they're all great. But you saw Ioka separate himself from Nietes tonight. He avenged his loss. He avenged it clearly, won a clear decision. And he's showing that he can also move forward to big fights at 115, unification fights at 115, top 5 fights at 115. Ioka is going to be in the mix for all of those as he continues on with his career. So what you want to see from Ioka is to keep the momentum going. You want to see Ioka fight again before the end of the year. You don't want to see Ioka go on a 12-month vacation until his next fight. You want to see him continue on with this run, keep the momentum going. Multiple fights now that he's won in a row, and keep the ball rolling. And hopefully let's see what happens between Bam Rodriguez. After Bam Rodriguez beats Gonzalez, will we get Bam Rodriguez versus Chocolatito? Will we get Gallo Estrada versus Josh Franco? If we don't get those fights, if they don't materialize, let's say Gallo Estrada versus Chocolatito 3 happens. Then that frees up a Bam Rodriguez. Let's see where Ioka goes with that. Let's see if Chocolatito does come available. Do you do Ioka versus Chocolatito? There are multiple fights that can be made. Hopefully, they make them for Ioka. But in the meantime, as of just today, Ioka wins. Ioka does what he has to do, and good performance from him. And for Nietes, salute, man. Great career. Hopefully he calls it a day, because nothing to hang his head about. You don't want to see an aging fighter continue to hold on. But I'll tell you what, for a guy 40, 41 years old, good performance today. Good performance in the loss. And it speaks to how great he is, that even in lower weight classes, he can still show well at this age. God bless.